Nerd Side of Pickleball for you?
I think the nerd side of pickleball for me is the dinking, I guess. There's a lot of strategy that goes into where to place your dink and why, and how to set up certain shots that you can attack later on.
Awesome. So how did you get into pickleball? Could you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, so I started 7 years ago. I was 14 years old, and my mom introduced me to the sport because she had played while she was in college, actually. And so we played once together, and we really liked it. We got the bug right away, as many pickleball players have. And then that was in Florida, so then we went back to Missouri, my home state, and found a club to play in there, and just kept playing, played a couple tournaments, and then pickleball started growing as we kept playing, so it became more and more exciting. We're meeting some more people, and now we're playing tournaments, and we're playing on a tour, and it's really fun.
Amazing. So what has been your experience with like pickleball gear? Can you go into that, like footwear, paddles?
Yeah, sure. So I'm sponsored by Selkirk Sport right now, so they provide my clothing and shoes. I've got their shoes on right now, and their clothing. Those are the new ones. Yep. They're pretty nice. I like them a lot anyway. But yeah, so Selkirk provides all the clothing for me and the shoes. I know there's a lot of other companies, like paddle companies, that also do apparel too, and then they've got some other brands coming into it, like Adidas is in it now. So yeah, I think they're starting to make maybe some pickleball specific clothing as opposed to it just being like, tennis clothing that people wear for pickleball. But it's growing, and there's more people coming in every day, and so it's exciting to see it develop.
Awesome. So what are your favorite aspects of court shoes and paddles? Can you talk a little bit about that?
Well, with the paddles, I think there's a lot of people are kind of pushing the boundaries a little bit with it in terms of the amount of grit that they're putting on each paddle and how much spin it's able to generate, how much pop it has. And so right now I think that's something that the pickleball world is trying to figure out how to regulate, like what should be the maximum amount of spin you can get with the paddle, what should be the maximum amount of power. And so they've put some systems in place to kind of regulate that, and they've got maximums right now, but it's all still really new, as a lot of things are in pickleball. So as usual, we're kind of figuring it out as we go, and that's the exciting part to me, is that a lot of things we're just figuring out as we go along, and constantly making adjustments to the system or to our strategy even, or whatever it is. But that's really exciting to me. And then as far as shoes, like I said, I've got the Selkirk shoes that are working really well for me. I like the feel and the fit and the look of them. And then yeah, I know there's some other shoe companies trying to get involved with pickleball, and so that's exciting to see as well.
Awesome. Yeah, thank you for sharing that. So when I first started this podcast, I actually asked the question, and you don't have to if you don't want to, but I asked, what is the dark side of pickleball for you?
I don't think there isn't a dark side of pickleball to me, or at least if there is, I'm not involved in it. So I guess there is a little bit of drama that goes on every now and then, but for the most part, I feel like pickleball, relative to some other things that you could be doing in life, is a pretty fun and exciting and I won't say easy lifestyle, but compared to some other things, in my opinion, I think it is. And so, yeah, there's not really a dark side of pickleball to me. It's all fun, and I see only the good in pickleball.
That's why I had to change the name. I think too many people answer with that, and I realized that whatever, like drama that either we cause or other people cause, like it's so minimal in comparison to the positives of pickleball. So yeah, thank you for sharing that. Yeah, so lastly, what tips, tricks, advice would you give to beginners or advanced beginners?
Yeah, so I would say that to improve your game, it's just going to take a lot of reps, a lot of practice. Drilling I find is super helpful. At the end of the day, pickleball is all about consistency. Like as we all know, like you don't have to be a super athlete to be competitive with maybe some people that are 20 or 30 years younger than you. So it's a lot about skill. It's a skill game, and so you've got to really hone in on some of your shots. Develop the muscle memory for your third shot drops and your serve or resets or whatever it is, and just getting hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of reps to really build that muscle memory is super helpful.
And lastly, what is your approach to, like, when you miss a shot maybe like you should have gotten, and when you lose a game? Can you discuss that a little bit?
Yeah, well, so a couple things. I think the correct way to go about it is just like any other sport, where you live with the short memory and try to shake it off and forget about it and just move on to the next point. In actuality, what ends up happening for me is I'm probably frustrated about it for a little too long. Sometimes, and it depends on the moment. Like in bigger moments, if I make an easy mistake, then I'm a little more frustrated, obviously. But the trick is to have a short memory and forget about it as quickly as possible. And I think that the mental side of pickleball is really important too, and probably an underrated component of it. And so I think players that can shake things off quicker and have a shorter memory and bounce back and be ready to play the next point more so than others are going to have a competitive advantage over them.
Awesome. Dylan, thank you so much for illuminating the nerd side of pickleball with us. All right. Thank you very much.
Phase 2 is the other side. Why the stadium for it? Oh, you have the championship? Oh, hell yeah. Yeah, that's